live. Perfect timing, because Sam is here in the chat.
Sam is here.
Like, I am here this week. I remembered when it is, or what day it was. I cannot read. Hi, we are here, internet land. How is everyone doing? It's our Halloween episode. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yay. For those of you guys out in podcast land, both Melissa and I are dressed up. She has on some spooky mood lights and stuff. It's great. This is perfect. You were like, I'm gonna get some decorations and do some scary lighting and stuff like that. And I think it's working out good.
Kyle, I'm gonna have to send you a picture of my desk because right now I have 6 different flickering LED candles.
Nice. Okay.
The remote controls. I feel like a witch of the future, like a Brookstone witch.
I have an LED mouse.
That is super fancy.
Up, and my keyboard also lights up, and it matches since they're all the same brand. The lights like flow into. And they're all synchronized. It's sweet. But that's it. That's all the lighting I have. I have my typical stuff. I've changed up my lights a little bit of just like what ones are on and stuff like that. And I think I'm gonna go with this setup from now on. Just in general, 'cause I like just this
blood red
better.
Week after week.
Yeah. For the captain's log, because when I had the red on the review show, it was too much red.
Too much.
Yeah, that's why we changed things up a bit. But yeah. Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
This is episode 117 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined, as always, by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa,
yes.
Do you have Halloween plans?
Not yet. I think maybe that day, maybe I'll just go drive around, take one last good look at all the Halloween decorations. And then that night, I'm going to make hot dog mummies.
Okay. Hot dog mummies. Is that just like hot dogs and like croissant rolls stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. I already bought both of those things. So, because I was worried, what if everybody else is like really craving a hot dog mummy? So I have them all ready, just like ready, waiting in the fridge for the big day. Yeah, I think I'm just going to make hot dog mummies and maybe some like,
to go.
Yeah, some autumnal sangria and like sit in my apartment all night with a bunch of candy and movies.
Nice.
Which isn't different from like regular Halloweens. I'm really excited for this Halloween.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I've always had trouble with this holiday because it's never as good as it is in the movies. Mm-hmm. Like, think about a Christmas movie. The whole point of a Christmas movie is like, it doesn't matter what your situation is, any material things, as long as you're with people who love you, that's a good Christmas. And that's something that's easy for me to do personally. Anytime I just go see my folks, I'm having a great time. I can attain a movie-worthy Christmas.
Sure.
Every Halloween movie is a fantastic adventure. Think about Hocus Pocus. I can't make a Hocus Pocus for myself. I can't go trick-or-treating anymore. Once you hit like 16, that's it. Like all the magic and mystery of Halloween is gone. And you are just like, and you can go to a party and the party's fun, but the party isn't an adventure. It's not cinematic.
Sure, yeah, you do different things and stuff like that, right? It can still be fun, but it doesn't have that same magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm weirdly comforted by Halloween this year, knowing it's going to be on such a smaller scale for everybody, because now I've got nothing to compete against. Not that I believe there were kids out there having Hocus Pocus adventures when I was just 20 years old and sitting at home watching a movie with my dad. But like now, definitely nobody is. Nobody's going on an adventure at this time. So if I sit inside my house and eat hot dog mummies all night, par for the course. I'm normal. Right. I'm having the same Halloween everybody else is.
Yeah. So Melissa,
yes.
You are dressed up. You have this like witch hat It looks
Yeah,
like a witch hat on with the
it is.
like fall looking flowers and stuff
Mm.
on top of it. And you got like black and white attire on it. What's the pattern on your
Oh,
shirt? Is
their
it
eyes. Their little
eyes? I thought so.
eyeballs.
Okay, good stuff. And you got these glow stick glasses, which are great.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a pack of glow sticks and these plastic connectors that just like connect them in the middle over your nose and kind of stay put on top of your ears. So yeah, this isn't a cohesive costume. It's an assortment of various spooky things, whereas you are forever and always Jughead.
Jughead, yeah. I did not do anything different this year. I wanted to, but just with the whole pandemic thing, I was just like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be inside. Like,
Yeah.
I'll dress up for the podcast here, and that's about it. Like that's all I do. But yeah, I have Jughead's beanie. I have his Southside Serpents jacket. Let's see if you guys can see that.
Uh-huh.
There. Ah.
Snake.
And then yeah, his like S shirt. You guys can see that. I'm actually going to take off the jacket because this is way too hot, and it is leather. Well, I'm kind of like fake out leather, but it is hot. It'll be the background.
There you go.
There we go.
It's staying up. Okay.
Good stuff. We did all of that. Yeah. Melissa, how was your week?
It's been okay. Work is slow. Monday I worked for like 10 and a half hours.
Nice.
And then every rest of the day just completely dried up to where today I worked for like 3 hours.
That's not bad though. Today was slow at work for me too. I finished up watching Typewriter, which is the show that we are covering on the review show this week for the last of our horror month. It's an Indian show. It's a horror show about a haunted house / haunted typewriter in India. So I've finished up that today. And I started watching season 2 of Hannibal.
Oh, nice.
I'm like 4 or 5 in.
Oh, you're that
so
far already? How is
There's
it?
been some big developments.
Yeah,
what was that?
yeah. I asked you how it was. I have seen I started season 2 of Hannibal when it was airing, but I don't remember how far I got. I didn't stick around too far after somebody dies.
I'm right there. Yeah, that character just died. And it's just like, oh no, what are they gonna do? And yeah, so there's that. But that's good. I think I'm going to end up switching off between Hannibal and True Detective. Because instead of Kyle's you have Melissa's cinema corner, I'm gonna do Kyle's TV corner. I started True Detective, finally. I had never seen that show, and you guys know me, I am a huge crime show fan, and whenever someone was like, so what'd you think of True Detective? I'd be like, haven't seen it. They'd be like, what? Kyle, why? So I started that. I finished season 1 yesterday, I think. Yesterday or the day before. It was good. Maybe a little overhyped. I don't know, because that's the one thing like I kept hearing, like, oh, it's great, it's phenomenal, it's the best. And then I watched it, and yeah, it's really good. Maybe just a little overhyped, though. It was fine. I liked it a lot. I would absolutely recommend it to anyone who likes crime shows and who likes watching Matthew McConaughey just chew up the scenery. He's so good in that show.
He eats a good meal.
Yeah. So I did that, started Typewriter. Did I do anything else this week? No, I guess that was it. Just back to Hannibal season 2. There we go.
Nice. I might pick that back up at some point. As I mentioned in our actual Hannibal episode, I'm very curious to see how that show continues. It's just so heavy that it's not always like, oh boy, I'm looking forward to watching Hannibal.
It's like, oh man, Hannibal. Well, that's the weird thing is because like with True Detective, I never felt like I could binge that show. Like that show is also very heavy, but in a different way. If that makes sense, like Hannibal is a lot to take in just because of how gruesome it is. But I feel like I can binge it.
Sure.
But True Detective, like I had to be like, all right, I watched 2 episodes. I have to do something else. Like there's just too much going on here.
Yeah.
So
it seems like a very cerebral show. Okay.
Yeah.
I got that.
Well,
right.
at least season 1, because I guess it's the thing like Fargo, I think, where every season is a new story, new characters, all of that stuff. And I've heard season 2 is not very good, but considering I thought maybe season 1 was just a tad overhyped, maybe season 2 was also just a tad being like, oh man, this is the worst thing ever. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
Well, speaking of Melissa's Cinema Corner, do you want to learn?
Yes.
Would you like to learn of the corner?
I would like to learn of the corner.
Okay. So this weekend, Jack and I and my roommate actually sat down and was able to watch this movie with me, which we're not able to do often because she works nights and we're on like completely opposite schedules. She sat down and watched it with me, and then I was texting Jack. We watched Fright Night. Do you know this movie?
I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
It was some movie originally in the 80s, which I have not seen yet. Would like to now. And it was remade in 2011, and it's like the most 2011 movie.
Okay.
It's great. It's really fun. It's so much fun. We had a dang riot.
On this like spookometer, how scary is this? Is this just like fun teen romp, or is it like this'll fuck you up?
It will not fuck you up. It is way more on the fun teen romp side.
Okay.
I mean, it's a vampire movie, so like it's bloody, but I love a vampire. I never find a vampire scary, and I feel like that's not something I commonly hear from other people, that they're like, "Oh, vampires terrifying." In general, there may be individual terrifying vampires. Colin Farrell, I don't think is one of them.
There has to be a bunch of scary vampire stuff out there. We've covered some of that stuff because we did last year on the review show. We covered Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Scary?
Scary for its time, not for us nowadays. But there still is some like horrifying stuff in that film, though. Right? Like it's not God, what's the Hotel Transylvania? Like it's not that stuff, right?
Yeah, but it also isn't Let the Right One In.
Yeah. Sam in our Twitch chat mentions Castlevania on Netflix can be gory. I have yet to watch that. Mainly because I have never I'm not a big fan of those games, so I don't really know anything about them, but I've heard great things about that, and I almost pitched it this month for the review show.
Ooh, I would have picked it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, here we are. Yeah, Fright Night was a lot of fun. So it's about this boy who lives in a really interesting setting. This whole place is set in a suburban development outside of Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I've seen Vegas movies, but I've never seen a suburbs of Vegas movie, which plays into the plot of the whole thing, because he thinks his neighbor is a vampire, and his mom's like, well, you know, some people like work on the strip all night and then they come home and sleep during the day and they've blackout curtains. Like, that's not that weird. And he's like, no, I think this guy's a vampire. People are disappearing around here. One of my friends disappeared. He's a vampire. And another one of the characters is David Tennant plays this like Chris Angel type magician who has
Perfect.
this like very occult supernatural aesthetic to him, except he does legitimately know all of his stuff. Like he's the Van Helsing of this movie.
That's good.
He's got all of these magical artifacts. And whenever they go see David Tennant, and he's living it up, he's in this penthouse there on the Las Vegas Strip. Yeah, he's got like the sexy girlfriend slash stage assistant who's in all his magic tricks.
Sure.
He's wearing his like silk bathrobe. He's got this extravagant. He's living like a Lucifer kind of life.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And every time he goes to his bar and pours himself a drink, it's just straight Midori liqueur.
Okay.
You know that bright green melon flavored liqueur that you mix with sour mix?
Yeah. It's
that's
just
all
that.
he
It's
is.
just like
That's all he's drinking the entire movie. There's a
Yikes,
part where
man.
he's like fed up with something and he's like, I'm just gonna drink my problems away. And he's walking around the apartment in the silk bathrobe and puts the bottle of Midori in the pocket of the bathrobe. I'm like, what a power move.
That's good.
Fright
That's
Night,
fun.
super fun. Recommend. And then I watched a much darker, different Halloween movie this week. We watched Color Out of Space, the big
Okay.
group of us in a Discord chat.
How'd that go?
It was entertaining.
Okay.
We were not bored, I don't think. Are you familiar with this film?
No, I don't think I feel like I've heard the name. This is a more recent one, right?
It came out in like January. Yeah.
Oh,
It had
well,
like
then, yeah,
an
that must be
abbreviated
why
theatrical run, probably. It's based off an H.P. Lovecraft book, so it's
Sure.
maybe where you know the title from. And it's just this farmhouse in rural, foresty New England somewhere.
Okay.
And it's Nicolas Cage and his family, and a meteorite lands and poisons their water, and they all start hallucinating and going mad. And, you know, it's some sort of a cosmic horror, and it's warping time and
Okay.
space around them. You know, bodies get morphed together.
That's
They've got
kinda
alpacas in the
why
barn.
I remember it, I think.
Yeah, all the alpacas are one creature now. There's the
Yeah.
Omni alpaca.
Yeah, because I remember Nicolas Cage doing some kind of weird movie at the start of the year, and I was just like, Nick Cage doing Nick Cage things,
Nicolas.
right?
Yeah, he's very Nick Cage in this. It's a lot of Nick Cage energy.
Good.
Boy, so my friend who was streaming it was on his Shudder streaming app page after the movie ended, and you can like leave a review right there, which maybe you can in most streaming apps, but it's like pretty front and center in this app, you know, because
Sure.
it's all horror specific and you never really know what you're getting into with some like little indie horror movies, so it's very much about the reviews. And he's sitting there and he leaves a review that just says, "It sure was a color out of space." So we're like, we don't
Okay.
even know what to do with this movie. I don't think it's good. It has some neat visuals in it. But honestly, after seeing Annihilation, why watch any other cosmic horror films? I already saw the best one.
Yeah, I'll say the only kind of Halloween themed movie I watched this week was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, nice.
So that was good, and that was my first time watching it. So there you go. I can cross
How
that
did you
one off the
find
list.
that experience?
It was enjoyable.
Good.
I kind of know there's like a cult history with that thing. I didn't know exactly what it was. I was not expecting so much musical. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. Not really for me though, but yeah, good fun time.
Nice. The first time I saw it, and all the times I've seen it, have been in a interactive group experience. I've seen it 2 or 3 times at midnight at a local art house
that's
theater.
the best way to watch something like that.
Yeah. And they have the whole script to yell around with the movie. Every line, you know what you're supposed to follow it up with. You have they give you the bag of props.
Great.
You throw the toilet paper, you throw the playing cards, you snap your rubber gloves. People are in costume. They have the shadow players that are like, we brought in this professional theater troupe to act out the movie in front of you.
Nice. Sam says you guys possibly saw it together at the Tivoli?
Yes.
I believe
yes, the Tivoli Theater. The beautiful old theater. I miss it. I hope it's well. And I saw it with a group of like 20 kids jammed into one of the student center common rooms in college doing the same thing. So I've never seen this movie in a situation where I could actually hear all the lines of dialogue. So I've been wanting to sit down.
You know what's supposed to be happening, so.
I feel like just once I should actually try and watch this film like a film. That's not the best way to do it, but I want to like hear all the lines that they wrote. So maybe that's what I'll do on Halloween. I'll just eat my hot dog mummies and I'll quietly watch Rocky Horror Picture Show.
It's on Hulu
home.
Right now.
Yeah, I saw it
I'm
there,
not mistaken,
yes.
that's where I watched it. But yeah, good stuff. There you go.
Mm.
Melissa, we have been talking about movies and stuff for quite a while. Do you want to dive into our Halloween tradition?
Yes.
Next, yeah. So we started this last year. This was your idea, actually, and yeah, it's a phenomenal idea. You were like, hey, let's take like stories that we've told here on the Captain's Log, or episode titles, or just small anecdotes and stuff like that, and let's turn them into horror stories. Like, let's rethink them, reimagine them, turn them into horror stories somehow, some way. And I was just like, that's brilliant. Let's do it.
It was really fun. I went back and I listened to that episode today, and I'm glad I did because I forgot all about the McRib Sterling bit.
You have this written down here in our notes, and I was just like, am I supposed to know who McRib Sterling is? I totally forget. So we mentioned this last year.
Yeah. One of the stories, you framed it like it was being narrated by a Rod Serling type of character, like in the Twilight Zone, and we talked about how it would be an off-brand, like, hi, I'm Rick Sterling. And somehow it kept devolving into, hi, I'm McRib Sterling. And we did a bunch of, like, horror McDonald's puns.
Yes. Great.
So, I forgot about, so I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad I can, like, remember to bring this important Whatnauts character back into canon. McRib Sterling. His entity is back here again to help us tell scary stories.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to that now, because I totally don't remember that at all. Which will be a recurring theme of tonight's episode, that I don't remember anything. But let's see here. I have some notes I can pull up here.
Yeah, I've got a couple ideas, and I also tried to give all of them like a really punny title.
Okay, see, I haven't gone that far. Like, I went through all of the stuff we did from last October, like last time when we did this, to now, and I just marked down whether it was episode titles or things you wrote down in the description of stuff of like, oh, we could use that, and then we'll come up with something on the show. So do you have something you want to start with, or do you want me to mention my first thing that I wrote down?
My first story, my favorite story. I'm not going to save it for the end. I want to lead with this. It's a story I call "Get Out of My Screams and Into My Car."
Okay.
I should hold like a candle under my chin while I tell this horrifying tale. Ooh. So there is a car. There's a red muscle car, and this car is haunted by a Christine type spirit. And this malevolent spirit inside the car, its mission, for whatever supernatural reason, is that it needs to kill whoever drives it, as long as he is driving alone.
Okay.
It has to be a one-on-one experience for this car. I will mark my driver, and I will kill my driver only in
Sure.
some sort of curse accident, So this car gets this new owner who is this young man who doesn't have his driver's license yet. And his parents are still teaching him how to drive this car. So he's never in the car alone. They're always in the passenger seat. And the car's like, okay, well, he's got to get his license eventually. And then he will drive me around by himself, just the two of us. And then I may kill him, as is my paranormal mission. So years go by, and kid still doesn't have his license. He keeps procrastinating. He has to get his driver's permit renewed. He moves. Car's still waiting. Car is left parked on a random street corner for a long time. Car feels very sad. When will car kill? Eventually, car is sold for scrap. For a small amount of money that the car knows it is not worth. The car doesn't know it's Kelly Blue Book value, but it knows it knows its emotional worth, right? And is horrified to find itself sold for scrap by a boy that never drove the car by himself.
Yeah, that's like a reverse horror story, right? Where there is a serial killer, and it has someone marked, like you are gonna be my target. And just through circumstance, it just never happens. And the serial killer gets so mad. Like, why? I'm trying to kill you. Please. That's funny. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So my first one also has to deal with a serial killer. However, the person marked is someone we all know, someone we all love. Well, maybe not. But I'm trying to get to him and warn him. However, my parents are the ones that are after him, trying to kill him. And I am racing against the clock, doing everything I can to go warn this person. But my parents met Kanye West before me, and they murdered him.
I also developed a story based around the time your parents met Kanye West.
Yeah.
And this tale is called "No One Mom Should Have All That Power."
Yes, okay.
So Kanye West...
Before you mention your story, the first one you mentioned about the car.
Yes. Let's cite these.
Did you take note of when that was, or what?
Oh, that was like just
episode?
after. Let's cite our references here. That was just after Thanksgiving last year. That was in that was
November,
the episode right
December?
after. No, it was the episode right after Halloween, and you just called it "We Are Pretty Impressed with HBO Max," which is why I took over naming our episodes.
Well, every now and then it's good to have something like that. But yes, you do mainly name them from now on.
Like, these topical names are great, like the month the episode comes out, but when it's a year later, I'm like, when did we tell that one story? And I'm flipping through here and I'm like, I can't find it.
It's a push and pull. It's so hard to figure out a good name for this stuff that will maybe hopefully get in the YouTube algorithm. Now we I don't think have ever gotten in the YouTube algorithm because you have such a small audience, but sometimes it's good to just have like funny names too, just like what the hell are they talking about in this
which is
thing,
what
right?
I mostly did this year. Like last week's episode was called Bed Glaze.
Bed Glaze, that's a great name. But let's see. The Kanye West one was from November 11th of last year. I think that one was literally called "My Parents Met Kanye Before Me."
Without me.
Without
Before
me.
me does sound very optimistic, like you are destined to meet him. And
One
it just
day.
hasn't happened yet.
Kanye.
Yeah.
If you're listening right now, hear me, okay? I will meet you one day.
So my story is based on that episode, and what's this one?
Well, you were about to do your Kanye West one.
Yes, yeah, it was pulled from that and part of another story. It was part of an anecdote you told in I Am Pizza Lord, episode 1 of this year. They're not episode 1 numbered, the first episode of 2020, where you're talking about your mom's habit of buying things and then not using them. Mm-hmm. So imagine we have Kanye West or a simulacrum.
Has bought Kanye West and doesn't use them.
No. So imagine Kanye West or a simulacrum of him, like a parody version that we could use in our episode of McRib Sterling presents
Kanye East.
Kanye East, yeah. So he is this famous musician. He travels to this tiny town thinking like, I'm gonna build something here. I want all this land. I'm gonna buy all this land. Maybe I'll host a music festival out here. Who knows? And he's heard of other people that have gone to this tiny town in Wyoming. Also, celebrities thinking that they can buy up large portions of land, build a ranch or whatever. And he hasn't heard from any of them. So he doesn't know what the deal is up here. But he goes to this little town in Wyoming. He goes in this little diner to eat. And he meets this very sweet couple. And they're like, welcome to our town. You should come to our church. You want to come by the house for dinner? And he's like, heck, why not? I'm going to go to this couple's house for dinner. So he goes over there.
Swell.
And the house is full of items, boxed up items, unused items. And he wanders deeper and deeper into the house while they're like finishing up dinner or whatever. And he finds all these fellow celebrities that vanished. And he's like, where have you been? And they're like, this lady brought us home for dinner. And like she talked to us and then she got bored. And then she started talking to somebody else. And we're just all still back here. Us in like a Wii in a box that clearly has not been opened since 2009.
Imagine my mom meeting Kanye West, talking with him, and then just getting bored and moving on.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
I had to go do the dishes. I had to take the dog for a walk.
Yeah. By the way, Jack is here in the chat. Hello, Jack.
Hi.
We are in the midst of telling horror stories from past things that we have mentioned here on the Captain's Log in the past year or so. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
My mom has kept all of these celebrities. She's trapped them inside inside her home and just left them there.
Socially acquiring them, and then they're lost in a house full of other items that she has bought and not used.
Yeah.
Just stacks and stacks. It's like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. They can't get out.
That's funny.
It's just there at your parents' house forever.
That's a good one. So my next one comes from December 16th. And I want to tell the story of a monster that is plaguing California, the shores of California, coming out of the ocean.
Yes.
It is a giant monster formed by thousands of smaller monsters. One might say they're still pretty big, but they're forming together to form this giant monster that is just wreaking havoc on California. It's destroying some things, but then some say that it's here to help them and protect them. It's California's own Godzilla because
oh my God.
in some ways it's pissing all of the fires out, right? It's helping them with that, and it is California's penis fish monster.
Wow, how altruistic. Thank you, penis fish monster, for pissing out the wildfires. Right? See, I also went to this episode, which is called Naughty Boy, Nice Baby.
Yeah, Naughty Boy, and Nice Baby.
Yeah, Naughty Boy, Nice Baby. And I was thinking about the penis fish, And the actual news story was like, it's just a type of a fish that does look vaguely phallic, and like a bunch of them had washed up on a beach. And I thought about, okay, let's say these are dicks. Where did they come from? There's some other universe where like
come from? Where did they go? Where did they come from?
Bunch of folks just
some I don't know.
in this other portal, in this other realm connected to the ocean, or you know what, maybe this is like in Atlantis or something, like a Namor type of world.
Castration.
I don't no, they just wake up and they're not there. Like, where do they go? Like, isn't that the most horrifying thing at all?
Actually, yeah, that
like, you
would
just
be
wake
that.
up
Just
and
one
it's
day they just
gone?
washed up, and there's just millions of these things, and then like the next day they're just all gone.
No, like from your person. Like, you wake up and you're just a Ken doll down there, and you're like, where the heck did it go? And you talk to your neighbor, and he's like, yeah, I don't have mine either.
Kyle XY is what happens.
No, he didn't have a belly button. The rest of his anatomy, not discussed. But yeah, just imagine, deep under the sea, there's Atlantis, and it's like, it has all these amazing technological advances. But one day, like, all the dicks disappear, and they're like, we didn't plan for this. Where did our dicks go? And they're on a California beach.
The dick heist. Oh man, that was good. That's such a weird story. Like every now and then I scroll through Twitter or just like search online for like weird headlines that we can talk about this week. Just like, look at this weird thing that happened, and I happened to do it that week, and just like penises everywhere. Just washed up on the shores of California.
It's raining men.
Yeah.
One piece at a time.
Yeah.
Y'all get excited for foot rain next week.
So my next one is from April 6th, in which I have no idea what you were actually talking about in this thing. And I was just like, you mentioned this in the description, but I don't remember us talking about this. And so, Melissa, on April 6th of this year, you mentioned a movie starring dead people. And so I'm imagining some kind of Ring-like movie, right? Where they have this videotape and they put it in and it's cursed or something. But it's a videotape of different dead people, some missing persons, some celebrities, a whole grab bag of assorted dead people. But it's a brand new movie, and things that they haven't done. Like, this is not like, some famous actor made this before he died and it hasn't surfaced. Tupac has made a new mixtape and somehow he has unreleased it. It's all new stuff that they haven't done. Like, they didn't film this while they were living, and they can prove it. And so they're just like this. What the fuck is this tape, right? So yeah, and they have to like figure out what is going on. Where are they? Are they really dead? Is the afterlife real? So I feel like this would be a good one. Now that you mentioned McRib Sterling, I think this would be a good one for McRib Sterling to discuss and narrate, because it could be a whole thing on like, well, what is the afterlife really though?
Yeah.
Right?
What is
Where
fame?
do we go?
What is art?
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Where did all the penises go?
So he just wakes up. He walks out smoking. Or no. If he's McRib Sterling, he just has one McDonald's French fry between his two fingers, like he's smoking. So,
okay.
So comes McRib Sterling. His suit is also black and white striped, like the Hamburglar, and it's just like,
just looking like
you wake up one day.
The the black and white thing.
He's got a domino mask like Hamburglar. He's Hamburglar-esque in some way.
it's Ronald McDonald in the like black and white Beetlejuice thing, his hair all messed up with the
it's Ronald McDonald, but dressed like Rod Serling, and that's who McRib Sterling is, our Frankenstein knockoff. So he's walking around with the fry between his two fingers, and he's like, "You wake up one morning. If you had a penis, it is now gone. What are you gonna do?"
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
And he just walks off. Oh, yes, this is great. Good episode. End it right here. We're not getting better than this.
No, I have several more tales of horror.
So do I. Melissa. This next one. Oh, it's wait. Were you about to go after this? Have I missed one?
No, I can tell one. We're not super taking turns here. This is very unofficial. Let's see. Oh, and that episode you were talking about is called Extra Sith Boy.
Extra Sith Boy.
And I think the movies about dead people was a reference to. I feel like we got talking about Chris Farley movies, and we pitched a new Chris Farley movie.
Okay,
maybe he's playing a Sith, and that's what the title refers to. I don't remember.
This
is a title I really like, but I also forgot what it refers to.
In my mind, I'm thinking of that YouTube video where the like local weatherman goes up to that small kid and is like, "So how's the weather around here this week?" And he's like, "Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?"
No, he's at a fireworks stand. And he's like, many citizens are out here trying to buy fireworks. What do you think about the 4th of July? Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Right.
Where are your parents? It's my favorite Vine.
Good stuff.
No, but my story is from the episode 100-Piece Chicken Meal. And it's called Finger Lickin' Evil. So I'm out here with my French fry. Imagine you go to New York John John's fried chicken restaurant. You see a puzzling item on the menu. 100 pieces of chicken in a meal. Ooh, not even in the catering section of the menu, just up there regular above a conventionally sized family package of chicken.
Right.
100 pieces of chicken. Who would buy such a thing? Well, today, in the McRib zone, the person is you.
We have found that man.
It is you. You order from New York John John's, a small establishment. There's maybe 2 people working there. You order 100 pieces of chicken, and they give it to you right away. Piping hot. So hot. You're laden down with hot, heavy bags of chicken, and you don't know, how did they have 100 pieces of piping hot chicken ready so fast? Who's back there?
Yeah.
The next week.
Who isn't back there anymore?
After however long it takes for you to eat 100 pieces of chicken, you go back to New York John John's. You order it again and again, instantly. 100 pieces of piping hot fried chicken. Where does it come from?
Interesting. See, I was thinking you were gonna go the route of like, it's not chicken wings, it's chicken fingers, and they are like chopping people's fingers off and cooking those and being like, these are chicken fingers, and I'm just sitting there eating fingers, none the wiser.
I didn't want to go for something gruesome. I wanted to go for something just very, very eerie. Like, what if you did go into a restaurant and you made a very large order and like they gave it to you right away? Exactly what you had ordered. That was
what was so weird about New York John John's. Like, this was not on their catering menu. Of like, hey,
just like, regular.
Yeah, just you want 100 pieces, we got you. Straight from New York. from John himself.
Wow.
Right?
I mean,
like,
who knows what powers John wields?
The almighty John. Man. Okay, so my next one, a little bit embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, I misspelled my name.
Yes.
Melissa, people noticed. People begin to think I'm not who I say I am. Do I really know who I am? That's it. That's the story. Like, I all of a sudden start acting strange. I misspell my name. I start, like, I'm just like, and then someone starts to put the pieces together. Like, you've been acting strange. You've misspelled your name. Like, you're like, I don't. Did Kyle get replaced?
Tell me something only Kyle would know.
Right? Yeah. Tell me something only Kyle would know. He'd be like, I've met Kanye West. I'd be like, I see.
You have you?
Yeah. Oh, you have you? Okay. No. Yeah. And so just like this idea of like, there's something off about this person. What is wrong with him? What is wrong with Kyle? Right? So I thought that would be a good one.
No, I dig that. I like the concept of, or if it happens to you, not like you spelling your name is a key to other people that you've been replaced, but I can't keep these stupid glow stick glasses on. They're not made to be worn by a 30-year-old woman. Like, what if you spell your name wrong and that screws you up? Like, that just breaks you and you're not really. It's like when Bart sells his soul. Like, you just become like that after you spelled your own name wrong.
Yeah. Like you didn't think anything of it. You didn't even notice, and someone else brought it to your attention, and you're just like, maybe I did get replaced, and you just have no idea who you are, and you start like trying to act more like what would Kyle do in this situation? Like he would say, oh ding dang, damn it. He wouldn't say that. You know. And everyone's just like, what's wrong with Kyle? Like, what is up with him? So we don't know if he's an alien or like a serial killer has like wearing his skin, or I don't know, monster, something.
Damn.
Some parasite has taken over my brain or something.
Oh yeah, and I can't spell.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was what an embarrassing day where I like turned in my art thing and didn't even notice I misspelled my name.
And I think that's in the episode Night Places Places at Night.
Yeah.
Which is what we should call Rib Sterling's show, Fright Places Places at Fright.
Fright. Places that fright. That's good. I like that one. Here's a. Can I go?
No, go for it.
Back to back with this one.
Yeah.
Melissa, you are a natural-born office woman. You love the like. I think we coined it. I think we coined it office punk. Right, where like that is your style.
If you're cyberpunk, I'm office punk. Yes.
Right. Yeah. And so you just like you live for the office, and Melissa, you die for the office. And so Melissa, you come back and you haunt your office space. You haunt it, and you live in their spreadsheets. In Excel, in all of the emails that they send back and forth, you are there, and you haunt them, and they see you. There's marks of like, that's Melissa's editing style. Like, you know, how did this get?
She color codes her files,
right? Yeah, I didn't do these though. Like, I don't know. Weird, right? So I don't know what you were talking about in this, but you had an anecdote on May 27th. Melissa lives inside a spreadsheet. And it must have been just a day or a week where you were just swamped with...
No, you know what it was? I bought new bed sheets that week. And then I looked at my sheets and my pillowcase and my bedding, and I realized it was the exact same color scheme that I used to color code my files.
That's right. Now I remember that. Yeah, but I was just like, this is perfect for a haunting. Right? Melissa, like, living inside of the office supplies and stuff like that. And just, like, a haunted stapler or, like, an Excel sheet that, like, somehow only has the, on the axis that has all the alpha numerics and stuff, only spells out Melissa, right? Or, like, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Melissa in cell LL. We don't have numbers. We don't start at A. The A's
there's
at the end. 2
L's. How are there 2 L's? Wait, why does it spell out Melissa? Dun dun dun.
I dig this a lot. I am always down for a digital haunting that is not anti-technology.
Right? Yeah.
That isn't like some Black Mirror pessimism. It's just like, well, the lady worked too hard and then she died and now she is a spreadsheet. Like, you know, simple.
We scattered her ashes inside the code of Microsoft.
Dumped him in the server room.
Yeah. Exactly. Good stuff. So what do you got next, Melissa?
My next one is also pulled from an anecdote you told in 100-Piece Chicken Meal, where you're talking about you and your friends just doing hoodlum stuff at a Target in Philadelphia.
I like to do hood rat things with my friends.
And like your friend is just like wedged in between the display of pillows you can buy. And one of your other friends is like talking to the sales clerk, like, hey, can you recommend, like, what's a good pillow for me? Like, what's the difference between these two? And while they're having a normal conversation, your other friend just, like, wedges himself out of the pillows and walks away.
Yep. They were asking random customers in, like, fake accents of, like, I am not from United States. What is the difference between 2 pillows? And yeah, like one of my friends was like wedged in there behind them so that you couldn't see him, and just in the midst of the conversation would just walk out, fall on the floor, and backstroke
oh my god
away.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that alone without
is a horror
being
story
a teen
enough.
Right, like that without it being a teen prank, like, oh man, some kids must have hid back there. We should, fill the space just to make sure no teens can get back there. You move the pillows aside and it's like, how did he fit back here? There's no room for a person. It's already been filled. Like where the heck was he? Flatten himself? Or what if you see the hole in the pillows and it fits you perfectly, like the mystery of Tamigara Fault. Like, this was made for me. It's my size. And you fit inside the outline and you just get sucked into the pillows.
It's like an odd version of a Pokeball, right? Where it's like no one really knows what's on the inside, but for that person, it is like the perfect thing. Like, they can go in there and they are happy. They are fed. They are like, they can just be there as long as they want, and they can just come and go as they please. But as long as they're in that space, they don't need to sleep, they don't need to eat, they don't need to, they're just them right there.
Wow. Just in the pillow section at a Target. I think that really we should reset the story at a Bed Bath & Beyond, the more mystical of the 2 stores.
Right? Yeah.
What if those like towels they've stacked all the way up to the ceiling, which is really just like one towel fitted into a piece of foam that has slits cut into it that you slide the towel into, and it makes it look like a bunch of stacked towels sitting on top of each other. That thing. Like, what if you were just doing a normal shopping trip in Bed Bath & Beyond and you glanced up and you saw one of those, like, lift aside like a door, and you saw, like, a little gnome jump out? Towel gnome.
Towel gnomes. Good
Bloom
stuff.
House presents Towel Gnome.
That sounds like a Bloomhouse production with God, what's his fucking name? The guy who's obsessed with feet. The director,
Quentin Tarantino?
Grindhouse. Yeah. Like
is he also
Bloomhouse.
obsessed with gnomes? Is this part of his lore? I don't know.
But like for some reason, I got this like weird Grindhouse vibe.
Okay.
Makes it like towel gnome, and so yeah, I was just like
gnome proof.
Yeah. Towel gnome. It's a triple feature. God, come on, guys, you haven't seen it.
Towel gnome was the third part of that. Yeah,
right?
It was Death Proof, Planet Terror, Towel Gnome.
Yeah, but just like let's take that like Grindhouse like style, but have it be a Bloomhouse production, cheap knockoff horror movie.
If you say the words towel gnome enough times, you forget what words are.
If you go in the towel section at Bed Bath and Beyond at night and say towel gnome 3 times fast and spin around,
all of those lift down. There's a gnome behind each of them. They make the towels soft, and they're gonna make you soft. They're gonna make you so soft that you can't stand.
That you will become a towel.
Oh my God.
They will they will somehow like deconstruct you down into the thread that is the towels. It's like a Sweeney Todd thing where they're killing you and turning you into towels. Human towels. That's gross.
I don't want to. How would I become a thread?
I have no idea. And no,
can't think about it.
Hang on, that is like pretty much common knowledge. I thought that Tarantino has a foot fetish. It's pretty out there. Yeah.
We did just also watch From Dusk Till Dawn, and yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. I have another haunting for you.
Okay.
So, let's see. This one from July 20th. Melissa, you were haunted by Robin Williams movies.
Yeah.
What if, similar to that, that VHS that has all of these dead people on there, what if you end up becoming haunted by just different Robin Williams paraphernalia and movies and stuff? It's like It Follows, but with Robin Williams stuff. Just like a VHS of Flubber is following you around.
Like I hear a noise and I turn around and it's like a plastic genie toy from 1994, and it speaks with his voice tremendously garbled, and he says things that Genie never said.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
It's all of a sudden. But I feel like you could go the scary route, but come on, it's Robin Williams, man. It has to be kind of comforting comedy.
If I could turn around and there's the penguin from Happy Feet,
right?
One of his many roles.
You have to make that one a horror comedy, right?
Where
things go wrong, but it's funny and it's slapstick, and it's just like, well, if I'm gonna be haunted by anyone, I would kind of want it to be Robin Williams, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace. Robin
Williams.
So. Or a comedy with Robin Williams. That'd be good.
More things about spooky VHS tapes, because I can't get enough of them. What's the episode where I'm talking about when my mom took me to Sam Goody for my 10th birthday, and I bought a Tenchi Muyo tape, and I didn't
Oh, I
realize it had
remember.
boobs in it because I didn't notice like the 16 and up sticker on the tape. So I
God, I
get
have
it
no
home and I'm
idea.
watching it, and I'm like, oh dang, there's anime titties in this.
One day when we're rich and famous, I want to hire someone to transcribe all of our podcasts and stuff so we can have the script and we can have the like captions and stuff for people who are hard of hearing and things like that. But that way, yeah, if we could, we would have all of those files and we could just search them for a key phrase and we'd be like, search for Tenchi Muyo.
Search for Sam Goody. I
Search
just
for
listened to this
anime
one the other
titties.
week. Which one is this? It's not Chicken Meal.
Hey Alexa,
was it
search
earlier?
for anime titties.
Oh, it was More Time to Die. This was from early March when
Okay.
all the action was just kicking off. And I thought about that. Like I go into a Sam Goody and I buy a tape I'm not supposed to get. What if I go into a Sam Goody at age 10 and I buy a tape and I look at the tape and it's myself from the future? And like
you
it's
walk
not
out
like
and
I
you look
recorded
at the
him.
sign and it's Sam Naughty. It's not Sam Goody, it's Sam Naughty.
Like, what if I buy a tape and I think it's just a normal movie, but
Not
I
you,
go
Sam.
home and I put it in the VCR and it's myself in the future? Like, not like I recorded a message and I sent it back in time for myself, like a Doctor Who episode.
Mhm.
Like, it's just me going about my house.
Interesting.
Yeah, what would I do with that if I was 10?
Like just a yeah, like a window into the future. Like you did you watch Fringe?
I watched
watch
like
all of
the
it?
first season and a half,
Okay.
I think. I
In
liked
the
it. I just never
later
stuck with
seasons,
it.
I think end of season 3, maybe beginning of season 4, they're getting into like alternate reality stuff.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know
yeah.
Brunette Olivia.
Yeah, and they have this device that is basically just a window into that alternate reality, and it's basically that. It's just this like glass pane, and when they power up the device, it kind of works like a TV that you can look into this alternate dimension and stuff. And yeah, like that would be kind of strange. It's not an alternate dimension, but it's you in the future, and you in the future like still has this thing, and you're still looking at yourself in the future.
Ooh.
And like trying to manipulate things of like, how do I that'd be interesting.
What if I could pan the camera?
That'd be a good one for McRib Sterling to narrate.
Yeah, I feel like you would get like an actual message out of these, or most of our tales are. Well, I don't think Rod Serling good at message. McRib Sterling, as we've seen, is like, oh, what are you gonna do?
You look into a mirror, and there's a mirror behind you, and you see yourself, seeing yourself, seeing yourself, seeing yourself.
Anyway,
yourself.
Filet of Fish is back.
Yeah. Anyway, the McRib is back. Go enjoy.
Anyway, a Shamrock Shake.
Good stuff. Oh man, these are fun. I like doing these.
Yeah.
Here's another one that I have no idea what you were talking about, and it's a more recent one too. I don't even have to say much else besides the anecdote that this was. The secret of the mysterious egghead.
Yes.
From August 3rd, like 2 months ago. I have no idea. What were you talking about with this? I don't remember.
I was explaining the plot of the movie Flight of the Phoenix, where I described Giovanni Ribisi's character as a mysterious egghead. Remember the movie where he's like, I know how planes work, and like he helps them construct a plane, and then something goes wrong, and they're like, come on, fix it, tell us what to do. And he's like, oh, I didn't tell you I knew how to work on full-size planes. No, I build model planes.
I remember that now. Okay. But yeah, like just I want like an urban legend story, like a Blair Witch
Uh-huh.
type of thing, where there is this mysterious egg head. It's like Humpty Dumpty, but in real life, right? Like
Oh man.
yeah, he's this like not like not like a fully egg shaped person, but like an egg. Yeah, was there a not the it might be the Coneheads that I'm thinking of. You remember that show back in the day? The
Yes.
Coneheads. It's that, but the egg heads. But he's just this like weird guy that lives out in the forest. Few people have seen him. He has some like Bigfoot style photos and stuff like that. And there's like some kids going out to hunt Egghead.
Wow, that's basically like our own local bubbleheads. I told you about the bubbleheads, didn't I?
I don't think so. What are the Bubbleheads?
This was an urban legend like a little bit before my time that I would hear about from like my older brother and like kids who also had older siblings. It was pretty much died down by the time I was a teen. But up in North Florissant County, like the north, like I lived in Florissant, but like North Florissant, where it's
Okay.
like we're basically woods and it's almost into Illinois, right?
Like north, like yeah, sure.
North. I don't know why I'm telling this to you. You've like no sense of St. Louis geography, but yeah, all the way up there.
I
And like out
understand north though.
it's north. So you
Yeah.
get up north into the woods. And supposedly there was a house where this family lived and they all had like giant bulbous heads and they called them the Bubbleheads, and there were all these urban legends about like they're all inbred. It's a science experiment. You know, they're monsters, et cetera, et
Radiation,
cetera.
yeah.
Yeah, whereas really they just had like a hydrocephalic condition where like there was fluid in their brains that did make their heads swell, and I think it was like a genetic thing maybe, and that's why there were like it was a family of them living up there. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if this is written down anywhere for me to Google it, or if I specifically have to ask somebody's older brother if it's knowledge only passed down through older brothers. But yeah, kids used to like go up there and like try and see if they could see them. And then by the time I was a teen, we drove down that road once, but it was filled with like a gate and like signs. It was like, this is private property. Like not addressing anything, but just saying, this is private property. We have a camera. Please turn around.
Dang. I'm looking up urban legends from Virginia because I remember some from when I was in high school. I remember one, and I see it on here.
What is
and then
it?
I see one from here in Richmond too. So in Northern Virginia, where I grew up, we had the urban legend of Bunny Man Bridge.
Oh, I think you did mention this once.
I may have mentioned it, but I don't remember it or what it really is. This thing says, remember the episode of Friends when Joey gets so scared reading The Shining that he has to keep the book in the freezer? Suffice it to say, if my laptop would fit in the freezer, that's where it would be right now. I've seen several versions of this story over the years, but the one that gets to me every time goes a little something like this. In 1904, a recently closed asylum prison in Clifton was transporting inmates to a new facility when one of the transport buses overturned in Fairfax. Most of the passengers were killed, but 10 escaped. All but 2 were found. Douglas J. Griffin and Marcus Walster. Soon after, locals began finding the remains of hundreds of skinned, half-eaten rabbits hanging from the trees. When Wallister's body was eventually discovered with a crude homemade hatchet in hand, hanging in the Fairfax Station bridge, officials believed they had found their culprit and the dead bunny rampage would stop. No such luck. In the years that followed, dead rabbits appeared periodically, and as legend tells, an unspecified number of bodies have been found hanging at the bridge every Halloween, the approximate time of the crash. Most often, the victims were teenagers looking for a haunt at what is known as Bunny Man Bridge.
Oh, of course the victims are teenagers.
The last reported incident was 1987. There you go.
Perfect horror year.
Couple here, yeah. Oh. And then supposedly there's a vampire in Hollywood Cemetery, which is here.
Man, I wish we had a vampire
there.
I mean, we have the Anita Blake novels, but like we don't have any urban legends about vampires. What were you saying?
I've been to Hollywood Cemetery, and I've been to her grave to check it out and stuff, but
ooh,
I don't know, nothing there.
Just a grave.
Yeah, just a grave. So, anyways, back to these stories here. You have how many do you have left?
Those were all the ones that I already had set out. I'm flipping through these.
Okay, because I have
see
one
if
more.
I can come up with anything else. Yeah, what do you got?
Which also might be a good place for us to wrap up after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more final story. This one is a very recent one from October 5th. DeVito High School.
Yes.
It's that, but it's a horror story. What if the kids are trapped inside a high school and Danny Devito is the slasher that is trying to kill them? He's gone crazy and is just trying to murder all of these teenagers that are stuck inside the school.
Like, so is this DeVito himself? Like, kids, we've got
himself.
Danny DeVito coming to the high school to give a talk to all of you.
My whole thing is like, what if that was a TV show or you know, like a Breakfast Club style thing where there's a group of kids, but
and they all find out they're a different DeVito archetype, and that unites them. Some of us are nerds. Some of us are a jock. Some of us are the Lorax. Some of us are the Penguin.
What are you? I'm a Lorax.
Some of us are Matilda's dad.
My idea was that Danny DeVito was the principal of the high school. Like, that was the whole thing. It's like a reverse Saved by the Bell, right? But this
it's about time, Mr. Belding.
They won't be saved by the bell this time.
Saved
Danny
by
DeVito
the hell.
Is after them. Yeah. Detention in hell.
Detention in hell. Featuring Danny DeVito.
Sam says DeVito as Frank Reynolds just yelling, I'm the slasher! I'm the slasher! There you go. I think that would be fun. I think that would make for another good horror comedy.
That's probably the next great horror video game. Like, we've got Five Nights at Freddy's, where you're trapped in basically a Chuck E. Cheese with Chuck E. Cheese and his Pizza Time band.
Animatronics, yeah. We have talked a lot about animatronics. I thought about doing something with that, but couldn't think of one.
I like this video game where you're trapped in a high school and Danny DeVito is after you. It can be that and the Breakfast Club, where like you look at yourself and your party of friends and you do all fit a DeVito archetype. One of you's got an umbrella, uses the weapon like the Penguin.
It's you're all like Danny DeVito characters being hunted down by Danny DeVito.
Oh my God. That's very meta. I think McRib Sterling would love to produce something like that and find something to say about it.
Yeah, just Danny DeVito. what are you gonna do? And just walks off.
I like how he sounds like neither Rod Serling nor Ronald McDonald. He sounds like nothing.
He's his entirely own character.
Who is he?
McRib Sterling is Danny Devito.
He tears he like unzips himself from the head down, and eventually it's Danny Devito in some sort of an amorphous suit.
My God, because he like imagine him like the sleazeball that he is in LA Confidential. Have you seen that, where he's just
I
like this?
haven't yet.
He's this like this sleazeball reporter that works for some like newspaper that's just garbage, right? And he's trying to get the stories, but he's also making up some of the stories and stuff like that. And yeah, he's just this real sleazeball guy. It's that, but trying to be Rod Serling, just this real sleazeball version. Just too much fast food, hasn't slept in 3 days, right?
Can't be bothered to come up with any real lesson for the audience.
God, the return of McRib Sterling.
Look for him next year in McRib Sterling 3, Season of the Witch.
Good stuff. This was fun.
This is fun.
I'm glad we made this a tradition on Halloween.
Yeah. Now we've got to figure out what we're doing next week, when we will be recording on the 30th, but the episode will release a couple days into November.
Right, yeah. We'll be actually recording on Halloween. Something there, so. Good stuff. This has been fun. Fun. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything. I know we had some like Halloween type questions
we gotta get to them
down
today.
here. I actually had one written down in case we needed one as well on my phone. Maybe we can touch on those next week, since we actually are recording on Halloween. We can just be like, you know what? Screw you.
The day before Halloween, Kyle.
You know what?
What?
Time is an illusion. It's Halloween month, all month long.
It is.
All Hallows month. So, there you go. That's what we'll do. We'll get to those next week.
Yeah.
A little bit of housekeeping for ya. We are finishing up our horror month on the review show, which is our book club style podcast. And we've been covering all sorts of different horror movies and TV shows and stuff like that. We did the same thing last year as well. But let's see, this week, I think I mentioned it at the start, we are watching this horror show on Netflix from India called Typewriter. And I will say that it is a delight
it's really fun.
Watch. So go check that one out. But yeah, we have multiple podcasts here at the Whatnauts. You guys can find out more information on our website, which is thewhatnauts.com. Excuse me. If you guys like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. We have all kinds of exclusive content on that. I still need to get going with our next thing on that, so be on the lookout for more exclusive content coming down the road. But yeah, big shout out to our Patreon. I have the hiccups. Our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier. So thank you, Sam, who has been in the chat with us.
Thanks, Sam.
This whole time. Yeah, thank you so much for supporting us. It means a lot. But yeah, that's it for housekeeping. So let's get out of here. Melissa, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And my new podcast is supposed to release on Halloween. This is a show called Saturday Morning Obscurities that me and my brother Jams are doing, talking about weird old kids shows. So we're supposed to launch with 2 episodes. One about the late 70s, early 80s glam space rock cartoon Ulysses 31, which is a space opera retelling of the Odyssey. And we're going to do an episode on So Weird, our Halloween episode.
Okay.
So weird.
Fun.
The old Disney Channel show about a girl with a paranormal website.
One of your favorites. Too.
Yeah.
So good stuff. That sounds fun. You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to stay up to date with all of our shows, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. Go like, share, subscribe, sell your soul, do all of that stuff, whatever you have to do to help us spread the word. I think we're still at 93 subscribers on YouTube, so help us out. Go subscribe. We are 7 away from 100. We're hoping to make it past 100 by the end of the year.
Yeah,
at least off to 100. Yeah.
We did visual things for this episode. I cracked 2 glow sticks open.
Help us out. That would be great. But yeah, I think that is about it. Go like, share, subscribe. This has been episode 117 of the Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.